So, what's going on, everybody? Today, we'll be talking about feeling unworthy or feeling a lack of self value in terms of your general approach to life. This was suggested to me by one of my followers, and I thought that it would be a very interesting video to say the least, because this is kind of another one similar to the body image thing where I don't exactly have a solution for this one yet. I'm definitely getting in the lab though, so hopefully I'll have one to share fairly soon. But I mean, look, I think at one point or another you kind of just have to decide that you are in fact enough to be the kind of person that you want to be, and that you're enough just as you are, and you're enough to, what's the word I'm looking for here, you're enough to be able to fulfill the dreams and desires that you have for yourself. Because look, you know we're all born in different environments, we're all born under different circumstances, and unfortunately a lot of that is negative in the climate that we live in today. But we're all created equal, right? Like we're all made of the same stuff. We're just a little different in our natures, maybe the way that we think, some of the things that we believe. Um, but in that sense, there's really like no reason why anybody should ever feel less than or better than anyone for that matter. Because that's another thing that really, at least for me personally, really gets on my nerves. Just people that are very entitled and feel like they can kind of just treat people however they want, and don't really take a second to kind of think about the ramifications of their actions. And I mean, it's understandable because that's sort of a thing that comes with age. But I feel like the earlier you teach yourself to kind of implement empathy and compassion, the better off that you're going to be just in life. Because I mean, people like being understood, and for some people it's hard to understand people just because they haven't been really, maybe they don't have a good relationship with their parents or like an important family member in their life, or maybe something happened to them with someone that they used to value, and for that reason they've kind of just shut everybody off. But as I've said in previous posts, I think even the first or second video that I've done for this account, human connection is everything. People is everything, and being able to kind of let go of those negative bonds in order to form positive ones is probably one of the hardest things that you can do as a person, but I also think it's one of the most fulfilling things you can do. And um for that reason, I feel as though it's important that we learn to value the differences, the inherent and learned differences between each other. Because I feel like people start to feel this sense of unworthiness and start to feel this sense of like, what's the word here? Like they start to feel like they're not appreciated because of the fact that they're basing a lot of their value off of responses rather than actual like internal belief systems. You know what I mean? So it's like you equate like how many, what's a good example here? Like how many people you've like been with or whatever, or how many friends you have, or how many followers you have, or how much money you have, or how much of it's like it's a quantifiable thing. But at the end of the day, it's like everything external is always changing, right? So there's like cycles of highs and lows of abundance and poverty for everyone, whether that be emotional, literal. That's just kind of how that's like one of the cycles of life. So it's like you kind of have to, it's really hard. Like I'm still working on this personally as well, but it's like you kind of have to make the decision that every day you're going to work towards finding your value on the inside rather than basing that value on whatever happens on the outside, because whatever happens on the outside can change, right? Like we've all heard of plenty of stories where people win the lottery, but then like a couple of years later they're broke 'cause they just don't take care of themselves, they don't value anything, they don't value anyone, they make some silly decisions. Well, I mean, whatever the case may be, but this external stuff isn't permanent. It's a very much in flux, and we have to understand that, some people are just gonna be, what am I trying to say here? My bad, I've kind of had like a brain thing going on here. But basically what I'm trying to say is that if you keep basing your value on things that are outside of yourself, you're always going to feel disappointed because there's always something else to strive for. Like there's always there's always going to be somebody better than you. And I'm sorry to be the one that might have to tell you that, but it's just like that's kind of how that's just kind of how things are, unfortunately. But fortunately, you can choose to either buy into that and be like, oh, like there's people better than me, so I'm terrible, blah blah blah, or you could be like, hey, I'm great just as I am. I don't need to be the best person that's ever existed to be happy or find happiness or to achieve my goals. I just have to kind of find the right ways to take care of myself and support myself emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, the big four in all ways that will benefit me in the long run. And that's definitely where I felt like I've like found my strength again, is that I've kind of like shifted my focus from, okay, like so and so wants to be my friend or whatever, or what does so and so think of me, what does so and so think of this, to like, what do I think about doing this? Like I can definitely tell you, even like 2 or 3 months ago, I would not have been able to do what I've been doing the last like couple of weeks, just like trying to build this community, reaching out to all these different people, making a YouTube channel. Like, if I told myself last year that I was going to make a YouTube channel, I would probably just like completely dismiss that idea. Like, I just feel like there's no way I'm ever going to be able to do that. But, here I am. You just kind of have to keep. Everything takes time in life. And it's like, you kind of just have to keep that in mind as you're going through this journey of like trying to find value within yourself. So I know, at least for me, like, and I've talked to a couple of friends about this already, like, I really feel like, regardless of what happens with this community, I feel as though it's given me so much, like, it's reinvigorated me in a way that I can't really explain. It's been a lot of work, and I still have a lot more work to do, of course, because when you start a new thing, and especially when you're someone like me who, it's like, you want to get everything done as quickly as possible, so it's like I'm always working. Low key forgot I had a, what do you call it? I had a I had a chem quiz today, and I would be surprised if I got above a C on that. I've been so immersed in this process that I totally forgot that I had that. So, I mean, prayers up, I guess. Hopefully I didn't do too bad, but the point being is that, and I'm not saying that everybody should just start making YouTube channels and like that'll fix your life. What I'm saying is that you have to find that one that one thing that you love more than anything in the world, and then try to do something with it. Like for me, I love being able to help people, and I love talking to people about life and my opinions on it. And I just love sharing my thoughts. So it's like, and I know not everybody's going to appreciate that because of just the world that we live in, and because not everybody's like me. But that's okay. And honestly, I find value in the fact that not everybody's going to agree with me, not everybody's like me, because then that means that makes me a commodity. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of how you have to think of yourself. It's like you have to think of yourself as a commodity. Like, rather than chasing all of these things that you want, think like, well, instead of, me chasing X amount of money, why can't X amount of money chase me? And I'll probably make a separate video on this, because it's such a cool concept. But like this whole thing with kind of like the law of attraction, where it's like you if you keep yourself in a certain state of mind and you carry yourself with a certain energy, you're able to bring the right things forth. It might not be the exact things that you want or think that you want, but it'll be able to bring the right things to you. Like for me, like I had no idea that I would ever want to make this account, and then one day it just came to me. Like I was just like, you know what? I'm going to start a movement because that's what I want. I want to do something big. I want to do something grand. And it not only gives me confidence, but it gives me purpose being able to do this kind of thing. And I'm very appreciative of that. And I'm very appreciative that I live in a time where this is a reality and I can do this for not just for myself, but also for you guys and those of you who might be struggling. And really just, trying to unite everybody. Like that's my main goal. I'm not saying that, everybody has to be friends and all that, but it's like I want to create a more positive social environment for really like the next generations to come because I feel like there's just way too much. And I also feel like this kind of ties in to the actual topic of the video, which my bad. I'm kind of going a little all over the place just because I don't have a script. You know what I mean? I literally just start talking. Like, this is how I write school essays too. I just kind of like go and then figure it out after. But basically, I feel as though the reason why so many kids, or at least so many kids that I know, feel like so disenfranchised or they feel like they're not worthy or they're not valued is because everybody is so focused on themselves all the time, and it's become such like a competition among our peers that it's like people are forgetting how to be people. Like they're forgetting how to be empathetic human beings who want to see other people succeed. It's like everything has to be competition now, which I think is frankly it's pretty repulsive. Like I just it's like why can't we all eat at the table? You know what I mean? Like why can't we all be extremely wealthy? Why can't we all find people that love us? Like why not? Why does it have to be competition? Why can't it's like people shouldn't be able to determine what other people are worthy of happening or worthy of having, my bad. It's like so that's why for those of you who saw my main post, like the post on my main about body image, it's like you have to, and I actually also wrote about this in one of my blogs, you have to fight for yourself. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that the world's out to get you, but if you want to be a king or a queen and you want to feel adequate, you got to fight for it. It's as simple as no one's going to like give you the crown because like I said, everybody's been conditioned in a way where everybody wants it. So what are you going to do about it? Like serious question. Take a second to think to yourself, what are you going to do about that? Cuz I can't I'm trying, but I can only do so much for you. And that's just me being honest. Like I can only help you so much where it's like you have to decide within yourself like okay, insert your name. It's time to get after it today, and that's it. And that's why I love my friend Andrew, who I shout out on my Instagram, started a YouTube channel recently as well. And that's why I love that he did it because he's like that kind of person, you know what I mean? Like he gets after it. He every day he has like a schedule, he does all his things. It's very it's very inspiring and I wish everybody was like that where instead of just like floating around, which I mean some people like I liked that for a while, so I mean, at the end of the day, do what makes you happy. But I feel like if people were more, inspired and more positive and like really looking to bring a community up rather than just bring themselves up, I feel like we would be in such a better place as a society. Like I truly believe that. So, um, but anyway, so concluding thoughts here. Don't let other people tell you what you're worth, and don't let external things validate that worth. Because at the end of the day, if you say that you're worthy of getting anything, You are. You truly are. That's how it is. Like that's really it's like that oh, I'm gonna fuck this up, but it's like that saying where it's like I think therefore I am. I don't know who said that. I'm sure everybody else does, but my memory's just not like that. I apologize. But yeah, I mean, you whatever you think you are, you are. You know what I mean? If you think you're a victim, if you think you're unfortunate, if you think you're unlucky, if you think this and that, you just are. But if you think the opposite of all those things, if you think you're abundant, if you think you're wealthy, if you think you can do this, if you think like this good thing can happen to you today, if you think like, you know, that this bad thing could potentially be a good thing depending on how you look at it, then it is so. You know? So, um, yeah, so I mean, stay safe out there. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll definitely be cranking out more of these. I'm gonna try to do one every day or every couple of days. It depends with school because I have, you know, as a college student, I have like finals and stuff, which I only have three, but it's like I kind of want to do well because my freshman year, like some of my old friends know that my freshman year of high school I just completely threw. Like I didn't study for anything, and I was like barely an above average student. So it's like I'm trying to like set a different standard for myself now. You know what I mean? So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that doesn't go too poorly. But yeah, I should be coming out with a video in a day or two, and hopefully you guys tune in. So thanks for watching. Peace.